Hi everybody, this is Angelo Quinones and you reach I Am Ministries. I Am Ministries is designed, as I make this brighter and brighter by the way, okay, is designed to give you dependable and accurate answers that come straight from God's holy and inspired word, the Bible. So we're looking at, okay, the Trinity, the triune God, the three persons of the deity, the three persons of the Holy Family, okay, in Genesis. This is a Trinity in Genesis series. You understand what I mean? And then we're looking at the Hebrew and the Greek Septuagint, and copies of the Masoretic texts here and there. Also, we looked at Genesis chapter 1 verse 1, okay, in our previous studies, and we saw that the Hebrew word Elohim spelled out Aleph, Lamed, okay, Hey, Yod, and Mem, and throw in some vowel points there, okay. That's a plural word. It's not a singular word like El in Psalm 102, okay, where El appears once there and the Tetragrammaton appears 9 times, incidentally proving that Jesus is Yahweh because the Father calls him so. Okay, that's just the deal. So we saw that, and we saw verse 26 of this chapter. Now I said, let us make man. Now I say is the Hebrew. Now I say Adam actually. Poieso is in the subjunctive mood. Okay, that word, the Greek word. The omega is pointing out the subjunctive case. Okay, the omega is a very important Greek letter. Okay, all right. So it's just not part of saying alpha, the alpha and the omega, the beginning of the end. As important as that is. Behind the scenes, working behind the scenes are these Greek letters, okay? These letters. And they do a lot of neat things in the Greek. And we saw that. Now, say Adam, let us make man. And apoi esomen. Actually, the men is showing out the plurality within the Godhead, okay? And then we saw Mimenu, man has become like one of us, in verse 22 of Genesis chapter 3. Man has become like one of us. Okay, us, Mimenu. And Nu means us in Hebrew. And we saw in Genesis chapter 18 in our last few studies, okay, that the first time ever in the Bible, the word three is mentioned in regards to the Trinity. Yes, there is a Trinity. We saw also Kadosh, 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 not the Hebrew, but we'll get there. Holy, holy, holy. Why did the Seraphim say holy, holy, holy 3 times? Or holy 3 times? Okay. Why? He could have said it once or twice. Could have said it 4 or 5 times. You understand what I'm saying? Could have said it 100 times. Why 3? To cover the entire triune Godhead. Okay? That's just a deal. Now we skipped. Actually, I just skipped one in Genesis chapter 11 verse 7, where it says, let us go down, okay, Nereda, from Yarad, I believe, okay, to descend, or to go down. And so we saw those things. Okay, and that's just a deal. Now, let's go to this parallel Bible app where we have the NIV, ESV, and the MLT right in front of us. Okay, let's look at verse 26. Okay, and let's see what it says in the study entitled The Trinity in Genesis. Then, this is the NIV, then God said, quote, let us make mankind in our image, in our image, in our likeness. Now, what does it say in our? Oh, because I'm reading actually the NASB line. It says you have to be careful with that. Let me just read it again. It says, then God, because it could go, on and on and on, and you're thinking you're reading the same line, and it's not, so it's kind of close to each other, Then God said, let us make mankind in our image, okay, in our likeness, it says over here, so that they may rule, okay, over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky, over the says over here, livestock and all the wild animals, and over all the, it says over here, the creatures that move along the ground. Now we're not gonna actually read all of that, okay? But we'll read, the first part. So in the NIV it says over here, then God said, let us make mankind in our image, in our likeness. It doesn't say I'm going to make man in my image and in my likeness. No, there's no the plurality of majesty here. There's no Hebrew word for king. And let's go to the next version. It's the ESV. Then God said, what is this? Let me just get this out of the way, guys. Sorry about that. Slicha, actually, and that's excuse me in Hebrew. Slicha, okay. Slicha. When you step on somebody's toe, who's a Jewish origin, just say slicha. That's just it. And we've been stepping on the toes of the witnesses. That's just it. Then God said, let us make man. That's a very good translation, though. Okay? I don't like the word mankind because he was going to make mankind in one shot. He was just going to make one person, one man, Adam in Hebrew. Okay? Then God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness. Okay? Okay, so then the ML it's actually NLT says something like this. Then God said, excuse me, guys. Then God said, let us make human beings in our image to be like us. Okay, they will reign, and so on, so on, and so on. The rules is another translation, but you get the idea. Okay, the Greek word for make, okay, here in the Greek Septuagint is poieo. But the text, the contextual form is poiesoma. Let's check that out, okay? But before we do, what is this not saying? Well, like I said before, this doesn't say, I will make man according to my image and according to my likeness. It doesn't say that in the text. There's no plurality of majesty here. It's just a deal. The word for king in Hebrew is not here. And the word for king in the Greek Septuagint is not there. Okay? So make is here. Okay, so let's look at it. So this is very, very important. Let's look at the Greek Septuagint first, okay? All right, so let's look at it. And it's right over here. Copy of it anyway. Septuagint, the word Septuagint means 70. Comes from the Latin word Septuaginta, which means 70, okay? Now, this is Isaiah chapter 6, and we saw. Let's just look at it while we're here, okay? While we're here, let's taste and see that the Lord is good. It says over here, Kai, okay, seraphim. It says over here, seraphim. You have seraphim. Okay, Esteke san, okay, kuklo, okay, autu, X says over here, peteruges, to, any, kai X, peteruges, okay, actually, okay, peteruges, and then it says over here, is that to? I have to move that a little bit over here. I don't know if I can't get rid of that. I think that's to, the dative article. To any kai ties men, and then I can't make up that word here. I can't see. If I press this plus sign, what happens though? Okay, I mean, I don't know what will happen. Maybe if I could, I don't know if I could get rid of that. That's the problem. I can't see the Greek word there. Okay, so I mean, I can't make it out. Okay, I can't make it out over there. But anyway, it says over here, kateka, lupan. And then it says ta prasopan, face. Okay, let me see where it says holy though. Okay, I'm trying to look for hagios there. That's not going to be here. That's going to be, I think, in verse 3. Okay, all right. The glory, doxase. So where is the? Okay, here it goes in verse 3. It says over here, hagios, 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 holy, holy, holy. So I just wanted to check that out. Now my baby's about to cry. I hope she doesn't mess up the study. I love her dearly, but still, I'll be right there with you, my love. Her name is Anna Devane. Okay, now let's get back over here. Let's go back to Genesis. Remember that show? Back to Genesis. Let's check it out. Chapter 1 and then verse 20, and actually verse 26 though. Now let's check it out in the Greek Septuagint. Okay. Kai epen hatheas. Kai epen hatheas poi eso. Okay, poi eso men. Anthropan. One man, not anthropon. Or whatever the case may be. Or actually, anthropusa would be. Okay, just one word. Okay, one man, anthropon. That's why I say it's not really mankind. Okay, the Greek Septuagint doesn't see it like that, like anthropos. But anthropon here, accusative of singular. Now, let's check this out. It says over here, Kai apen, and said, literally. Kai for and, apen for said, third person, by the way. Hatheas, that's an nominative case of construction. That's the subject of the sentence. This is a subject nominative here. Hatheas. Poiesomen. Now that's the key. The poiesomen is translating the Hebrew word na'aseh. Na'aseh means let us make. Now, so they need, they need it. Actually, this is already done. They needed the Hebrew Greek translators. They needed a Greek verb in a subjunctive mood actually to fit na'aseh, let us make. So they picked or the only thing you're gonna pick is poiesomen. Poie is actually the root of the word that contains the meaning to make. Okay, even though it doesn't mean make all the time, like creating something. Okay, so you have to be careful with that, because poieo is found and recorded in John chapter 10 verse 33 for the Jews saying that Jesus made himself out to be God. Now he didn't create himself to be God. He was just making himself by proclaiming that he was the God man. You understand what I'm saying? Poie is the root. And then you have the aorist sigma. The sigma there after the stem actually is pointing out the completed action. Okay? In this, remember, you're outside of the indicative. Okay? So what's going to point out, the aorist tense is the sigma here. Now, what is pointing out the subjunctive mood? Now remember, the subjunctive mood is unlike the indicative mood. The indicative mood is a projection of reality. In the beginning, God created, the heavens and the earth. That's in the indicative, the mood of reality. But this is the mood of possibility or probability. Okay, so it's a different mood. It's a different thing, to say, I went to the store. Or somebody will say, Angelo went to the store, or that I may go to the store, or Angelo may go to the store, or whatever the case may be. That's the mood of probability, and so on and so on. It's a different sort of mood. Okay? Kai eben hatheas poiesomen. So the sigma is pointing out the completed action, and simple completed action is pointing out the aorist tense in this Greek verb. And the omega, which looks like a W, that's pointing out the subjunctive. Just like an eta can, and other subjunctive verbs. And then where do you get the us from? Well, you get the us from men. Okay, that's a plural first person plural ending. Okay? So that's where you get the plurality, okay, within the Godhead in this Greek verb. Okay? Poiesomen. So that's a subjunctive. The omega is pointing out the subjunctive construction. The sigma is pointing out the aorist tense. There's a completed. It's a completed. It's a completed action, if you will, right? And then men is pointing out the plural ending, us, and then point A is actually the stem. Okay, so those are, just parsing everything. That's just a deal. Poiesomen anthropon. Let us make man. Now, what is this sort of subjunctive? What is the classification? Well, this is a exhortation by one of the members of the Trinity. We don't know which one. It doesn't say that the Father said. It doesn't say that the Son said. It doesn't say that the Holy Spirit said. Okay? We don't know who it was. But one of the members of the Trinity said to the other two, okay, let us make man. It's not a command. Okay? It's not a command. It's an exhortation to make. Okay? Exhortation is quite different. Okay? Like, for example, I believe that the Lord's Prayer has this sort of a construction that we are exhorting, okay? It's very strong and powerful, but it's very difficult to say that you're commanding God to do something. Okay? It's not like that. Okay, we don't command God to do anything, but it's still very powerful. We are exhorting God. Okay, let your will be done. I like that. It's very, very powerful in Greek, though. Very powerful. So this is hortatory conjunction, subjunctive, I should say. And this is in the mood of reality, translating the Hebrew word na'aseh from asa, which means to make. Okay? So the men is in the Greek Septuagint over here. Let's look at the Hebrew, though. Okay? Now, I just want to look at this again and really get this in our minds. Okay? The construction. Okay? Now, before I do, okay, let's go to the Greek New Testament, however. Okay? Because there's another let us make there with a similar construction. Okay, so let's look at that. Let's go to Mark chapter 9, okay, verse 5, where we see the Apostle Peter saying that to Jesus, let us make. Okay, let us make. Okay, now, was he saying it to Jesus that to come along and help us in the making of the tabernacles? Or, so, I mean, let's just look at it here. And that's actually chapter 9, verse 5. Okay. Okay, it's getting dimmer and dimmer, so I really want to make this brighter and brighter. Shucks, I can't, That says over here, okay, and answering, okay, okay, Petros, Peter, says, lege. That's actually third person ending there. Iota there, I believe is the ending there. Okay. Okay, I think that's the ending there. Lege is from lego, leges, lege, that paradigm, All right, so let's just say Petros lege says, okay, says to Yesu. Okay, so it looks like a genitive, doesn't it? Construction for Jesus' name there, but you have to understand that the genitive and the dative share the same construction for the word Jesus. Okay, Yesu is that's the same. The paradigm actually is, I believe, Yesun. Okay, so it's not Yeso, something like that. It's just Yesu, just like the genitive singular. Incidentally, Jesus' name is found and recorded 917 times in the Greek New Testament. How do they count that? Well, they're probably counting Sinaiticus or Sinaiticus. Rabbi, it says over here, Rabbi, it says, oh, good. Kalan from Kalas, right? Kalas, it is Estin. Okay, for us, Hemas, that's in the case of the case. Remember the paradigm. Okay, Hemes, Hemon, Hemin, Hemas, and this is in the first person plural. This is a first person plural pronoun. Okay, so that's just it there, and from ego, but I mean that's the paradigm for that. Now here it says okay, hode to be, ani to be. That's the alpha and the iota is pointing out the infinitive construction, okay, from Amy, but the alpha and the iota is pointing out the infinitive construction in this Greek word over here, to be, okay. It's not just be, but to be, okay. Let me check my Greek out. I say it's an infinitive, so let's see. So what's the deal over here? Okay, close. I mean, so why can't I poke the bear? I don't understand why I cannot poke this. Okay, I mean, so it says over here present and an infinitive active. Okay, I mean, you can tell right away, alpha and iota is just pointing out the infinitive construction here in this Greek verb. And Greek word kai, okay, let us make, you see, poi esomen. You see, it's the same construction found and recorded. Okay, all right, in Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. So Peter is saying the same thing that one of the members of the Holy Trinity said way back yonder. Okay, it's the same construction. I wanted the same construction, and I couldn't find it until I heard this, I think, in a video by Alexander Scorby, reading the King James, and I said, "Oh, this is the construction I want. I hope the Greek is the same thing," and it was. It's the same construction. Let us make. Okay, poiesomen. P omicron nowadays called omicron. Iota, eta nowadays called eta with the acute marker. So poi e. Okay, there you go. The sigma and then omega mu nowadays called me. And epsilon and nu, nowadays called ni. So I mean, these letters mean something, first of all, and like the sigma here and the aorist, it means to synchronize. By the way, okay, that's what it means, to synchronize. This is, you understand what I'm saying? It looks like a little bit like a future subjunctive, but there's no such thing. There's no such thing. So just be careful with it, because it looks like in the future tense, though, doesn't it? Though, but that's not. That's not what this is. Okay, this to me, the sigma is pointing out the aorist tense. Let's just check that out. Okay, remember this is a subjunctive, but also it has tense. So it's an aorist tense, subjunctive mood, and then voice is active. Okay, active has all those things wrapped into one candy bar. I used to like the Reggie bar. Remember that? The Reggie bar? I mean, Reggie Jackson. Remember the Reggie bar? I mean, the Reggie bar was good, though. I mean, that was a good... I mean, I like Chunky, though. I miss Chunky here in the Philippines. I mean, there's no Chunky here, guys. Unless you want to go to Metro, shopping mall. I mean, and try to find one. Okay, that big mall. Let us make, says the disciple Peter. Well, yes, oh, man. So again, the poi e, and that's probably was lengthened. Okay, you see poi e. Oh, there's a lexical form. That's I make. Okay, but if you want to say let us make, well, then you're gonna have to put it in the subjunctive. Okay, and then you're gonna write out p o i e. Nowadays it's I class, the eta, and then sigma, omega, mu, epsilon, and nu. One epsilon, by the way. Let us make. So you have that in the Greek New Testament. Okay. Now I don't know how many times this is found elsewhere in the Greek Septuagint and in the New Testament, but at least I found it once. Okay. I could probably just hear the entire Bible from cover to cover and come up with some more, and And so, I mean, that'll be fun to do, right? Let us make, boy, esomen. This is a subjunctive verb, okay? The mood of probability or possibility, okay? Now, this is an exhortation. Now, he's not commanding Jesus to make a tabernacle, okay? You understand what I'm saying? He's not commanding the other disciples to make tabernacles, okay? So even Jesus said not to lord it over the flock. I mean, it's just, you know what I mean? Let us make. That's just a deal. All right, so that's just it. Mark chapter 9, verse 5. Well, let's look at the Hebrew. Because remember, the Hebrew is the standard in this situation, in a situation. Oh, my English is getting bad in the Philippines, guys. It's too bad. All right, so let's look at Genesis. Okay, back to Genesis. There you go. Good old Genesis. You know what I'm saying? The book of Bereshit. So let's look at it here, and that's just a deal. And said, or why yomer, okay, why yomer, and that's just it. Okay, who said? Well, Elohim. It's in the plural, by the way. Okay. Now it says over here, let us make. Well, that's na'aseh. Let us poke the bear here, and there's okay, I can't poke the bear. I have to go to the magnification side of the phone and get some magnification. Okay, you understand what I mean? So let's just do it. I like to have fun in these studies. I don't like to have it dry. I hate to say entertaining. We're not here to entertain, but I'm here to use my personality. Let's just put it like that. Now, that's just a deal. Hi, my love. She's being very patient, by the way. She's being very patient. And the vein is being very good. Accessibility. That's what I need. Okay. Let me do it again. Okay, let me see this. What's the deal here? Okay. Okay, I mean, that's just it. Accessibility is right here. Okay, and this magnification right here, and then I'll just turn it on, and then we'll go back to the Hebrew. Okay, so that's just it. Let me see it here. Where's the Hebrew? It's not the Hebrew there. Okay, that's the Rabbi. I see that's the Greek. Now let me just put it over here like that. And let's look at it. It says over here, Wayomer Elohim. Okay, Na'aseh, and then okay, Adam. Na'aseh Adam. Adam is man here. Also, Ish is man. Okay, put a hey, put a hey there with Ish, and then you got Isha, and that's woman. Okay, so Ish means man, and Isha means woman, but the Holy Spirit didn't use, okay, let us make Ish. Let us make Adam, it says over here. Okay? So that's not mankind. I mean, let us make, one man. He didn't make, mankind in one shot, though. Okay? I mean, we were in his loins. I understand that, but it's the best way to translate that is not human beings and mankind, but let us make man in our image, because woman was made in the image, okay, of man. Okay, in the image of man. It's not the other way around. Now, that's why I say that he made man. He made one man, Adam. You understand what I'm saying? Let us make. So what's that? Let's poke the bear right now. Let's look at and then let me just, check off the box here, and that's just the deal. Let's look at the lexical form, asa. So how do you read that? Okay, I'm under 6213. Okay, right under 6213, the last Hebrew word on the bottom of the phone. Okay, you understand what I'm saying? And actually, let me just do it a little bit more perfectly, because that's just the deal. Because the thing is that asa is right there. I don't want to skip that. I don't want to hide it. You understand what I'm saying? All right, so let's look at the lexical form. Lexical form, actually the transliteration is ASAH. Okay, all right. The H is silent in Hebrew. So let's go above the ASAH transliteration and right below the 6213. So we're right in the middle of 6213 and, when it's written out in English, asa. Okay, right in the middle. You have 3 Hebrew consonants, okay, and 2 vowels, which is the same vowel. So how do you read this? Remember, you read Hebrew from right to left. Never from left to right, unless you're breaking up the syllables, okay? If you're having a problem with the syllables, you want to break up the syllables before you read it, you can read it from left to right. But I mean, reading the actual Hebrew words, you're in the whole sentence or whatever the case may be, you read from right to left like you do Aramaic, okay? So the Y-looking letter, okay, I'm under the 3 in 6213. Doesn't it look like a Y? It looks like a Y a little bit. It's not a Y. Okay, this is a peculiar letter. It's a silent letter, but not all the time. There's 2 silent letters in Hebrew. Aleph, the letter in the word for God, right? And in other words, I believe Echad has that as well. Okay, you understand what I'm saying? Yeah, and so the thing is that this is a silent letter. Sometimes it can make it's a sort of a mystery with this letter. Okay, but let's put it silent for now. So when you have a silent letter, okay, like this, what do you do? Well, you just pronounce, okay, the vowel underneath it. The T-looking thingy underneath it is an A class. It looks like a teeth to us. But in Hebrew, when you see a T-looking thingy underneath a consonant, that's an A class like in the word father. So just say That's just as simple as that. Now, what's the next letter? Well, there's a W-looking letter. Doesn't it look like a W-looking letter on right under the 2 in 6213? It looks like a W, but it's not a W. That can be an SH or an S in Hebrew. This is called, okay, sheen, but since there's an S, it's called seen. It could be called seen or sin. It's not a sin to call seen sin. Okay, Mr. Spock, and incidentally, Captain Kirk went to space, shattering the false prophecy of the Tower in 1943. The truth shall set you free. Yeah, right. Well, Captain Kirk went to space, and they said that nobody was going to go to the moon or space or whatever the case may be. Captain Kirk, William Shatner himself, over 90 years old, guys. Captain Kirk, he wasn't really like the captain, though. He was scared to death. He was saying, I hope the parachute opens in this thing. I don't want my body splattered all over the place. And then that bastard George Takei, Lieutenant Sulu, have a field day. You understand what I mean? That's just it. Incidentally, Lieutenant Sulu, if you're out there, George Takei, man, God made Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. You understand what I'm saying? The $6 million man wasn't hanging around the place. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, right. I'm just saying. Just because Captain Kirk got all the girls in Star Trek doesn't give you the right to crucify him. You understand what I'm saying? I'm just saying. All right. So the thing, this is the thing. This W-looking letter in Hebrew is actually an S. But how do you know when it's an S or an SH sound? How do you know? Well, look at the dot above the W-looking letter, which is actually an S. It's above the letter to the upper left-hand corner above the letter. Now, when that happens, that's a seen dot, right? And that's an S. Now, if it was to the opposite side on the upper right-hand corner, not touching it, though, to the chagrin of some people who write, copy out the text, okay, sometimes the sheen dot or the seen dot does touch the letter. It shouldn't touch the letter, though, okay? But anyway, if it was above to the right upper corner, right, then it's an SH sound. That's the thing. If it's to the upper right-hand corner, it's an SH. If it's to the upper left-hand corner, it's an S, like in the word basar, which means flesh, okay, in Hebrew. Okay, though my skin is destroyed, or yet in my basar, in my flesh, I shall see God. That's what Job said about the resurrection. Job 19, incidentally, around verse 26 or 25. So this W looking letter is not a W. So when you're looking at a W letter in Greek, it's not a W. Okay? It's an omega. If you're looking at something that looks like a W in Hebrew, well, it's not a W. It's either a S or a SH in Hebrew. Now look at underneath this is another T looking thingy, which is an A class. So you just say sa. That's all you do. So far you got a, sa. And that's what you're left sound-wise because the hey is silent in this Hebrew what. So that's the lexical form. Now what's the contextual form though? How do you write, okay, let us make. Okay, I know how to write to make. That's kind of easy, asa, but how do you write let us make? Well, you change the you write another sort of construction. You're going to need a noon, okay, in the beginning, to begin this Hebrew word, and an A class like in the word hat. Now, remember, we saw an A class like a T, looking like a T. A like in father. But this A class is different, and I'm right, okay, above the, I'm right below the E and make, all the way to the top, the Hebrew letter. It looks like a telephone, doesn't it, though? A little telephone that you hold, the old-fashioned telephones. Not the cup ones. I'm talking about just a sort of, earpiece and a mouthpiece like that, that sort of telephone. And then it has like a hyphen, like a minus sign. That's an A class, like in the word hat. That's all it is. Nah. That's all. That's what you do. And that's just the deal. And so, there you have the ion again. I don't know if I told you the letter, okay, that's like silent. The ion, it looks like a Y, but it's not. It's ion, okay? And it has also the pathach. That A class is called pathach. Hello. Yes, what do you want? Can you stop? Godfrey. Come on, you can't do that, Godfrey. What do you want anyway? Come on. You're going to eat, no snacks. Wait for a second, guys. Godfrey, I'm doing a Bible study. Out you go. Come on. Let's go. Come on. You're going to eat. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Hop two. Hop. Come on. I mean, he took the charger out of the outlet. I mean, he just stepped on everything, this child. He's my stepson, you understand what I'm saying? He's just stepping all over the place, guys. He's worse than the witnesses. At least they knocked the door, the witnesses. You understand what I'm saying? You have a choice to let him in or to leave him out. Free? Okay, I mean, Godfrey's his name, incidentally. I mean, goodness gracious, now I have to find a what again? I mean, come on, man. And they're singing karaoke or something, they can't even sing. We could have great crying out loud. Now, let me see over here, guys, okay? I mean, let us make, and that's just the deal, okay? So let's look at it. I'm sorry, guys. I really apologize for the intrusion. But anyway, you have a noon, okay? That's the Hebrew letter, okay? Underneath the E and make. So noon, N-O-O-N. That is the N in Hebrew. That looks like the telephone thing, Remember, there's a nu in Greek, the N in Greek, but it looks like a V or a capital N. Alright, so you have an A class underneath it, like I said before. The minus sign looking A class is an A like in hat. So nah. And then you have the ion, which is silent, right? And then the same A class underneath it, pathach, okay, pathach, which is an A class again, like I said before. So so na, a. And then you have the W-looking letter, okay, all right? The W-looking letter, which is not a W, is an S because of the position of the upper dot, okay? And then what do you have underneath it? What is that upside down triangle set of dots? Well, that's an E class like in the word get, like in that old television show, Get Smart. So all you have to do is sound off the consonant first and then the vowel second. Okay? If the letter is not silent, and this is not silent. This is an S. So the E class underneath it is called segol. It's a cluster of grapes. Segol. So this is an E class like in the word get. And then you have the hey, which is silent. So actually it's na-a-se. Na-a-se. Okay, so na-a-se in the text, and that's why they translated this, okay, let us make, because it's a different sort of construction. Okay. Okay, now let's see the construction. Now this is now do they have the number here? A parts of speech verb, okay. All right. And this is imperfect here, and this is cohortative, okay? And this is first person, and the gender is common and in the plural. This is in the plural, number, plural, P, right there, okay? That's just the deal. Now, this is all this is the parsing of the Hebrew what, okay? Person, first person, gender common, and number plural, okay? And this is cohortative. Cohortative is the same thing going on, okay, in the Greek, okay? The same thing going on in the Greek, okay? That's why that construction, okay, poiesomen was used to translate this Hebrew word naaseh. Okay, and it goes on to say Adam. Naaseh Adam, let us make man. You understand what I'm saying? So this is the deal. This is what's going on. And remember, the Greek is let us make, like the Greek in the New Testament, let us make, found and recorded again in Mark chapter 9, verse 5. You may want to point the witnesses out to that text of Mark's gospel. Okay? So basically, that's the study today. Let's read it in the NASB. Well, actually, in NASB, because we read it in the MLT, NIV, and ESV. So let's read it according, okay, kata, according to, ooh, sorry about that, guys. According to the NASB. And then I'm going to get to my baby, okay, because I don't want her to cry, guys, you know. There's karaoke singing. I don't even need to put music. I'll just have those karaoke dudes. Verse 26. Then God said, let us make man in our image. Look at the hour. According, and that's kata, but it's abbreviated though. According to our, in the Greek Septuagint, our likeness. And let them rule, okay, over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the sky, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing. It says over here. Let me just creeping thing. It says over here, every creeping thing, and it's every creeping thing that it creeps on the earth. Okay? And God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him. Okay? Adam. Now, look what it says over here. It doesn't say, let us make man in our images, according to our images. It's just one image. You understand what I'm saying? Icon is the Greek word, okay, there in the text, and that's in the singular. Icon. We get the word icon. You understand what I mean? Now, this is glorious. I mean, and you see the number, okay? The number. Now you're seeing the God has at least two persons here. At least. I mean, you can't tell that it's three until you go to this chapter. With this, I'll close. That's what I'm saying. Chapter 18. Okay. All right. Let's go. Couple more. You understand what I mean? And that's chapter 19. Actually, incidentally, in verse 24, it says that the Lord, okay, rained fire and brimstone, okay, on Sodom and Gomorrah from the Lord from heaven. Okay. I mean, how much proof do you want? You see. It says over here, when he lifted up, meaning Abraham, his eyes, and looked, behold, three. And that's shaloshah in the Hebrew, from shalosh. Shaloshah in the text, shalosh in the lexical form, three. He didn't see four, he didn't see two, he saw three. He saw three men, okay, where he saw three men were standing opposite side or opposite him. You understand what I'm saying? Why not four? Why does it always have to be three? Kadosh, kadosh, kadosh. Holy, holy, holy. You understand what I'm saying? Baptize them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit and Russell. No. Three. I mean, three. Incidentally, Russell was buried alongside a pyramid, you know, next to his rear end. I mean, you got a pyramid there with a cross on it. Can't make it up, guys. Incidentally, before I close, the charter, the 1952 charter, something like that, either 1952 or 1954, said that you should worship Jesus. I think that's a good idea. You better start now because you're going to do it when you die. It's appointed unto man once to die. And after that, the judgment, knowing the terror of the Lord, we persuade men. That's what we're trying to do. Trying to persuade you to leave the tower. Some of you have kids. Is Angelo Kykyones given glory, total glory, to the God of Israel? God is not the God of the dead, the necron, or the mut, but of the living. And that means that Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob were very much alive at the time that Jesus said those words. Don't listen to him. Millions now living will never die because they're almost all dead. That disgusting book that was published in 1918 by Rutherford. He wasn't even a judge. He was just a lawyer of Russell. So he made Beth Sarim, the house of the princess. Okay, Beth Sarim. In California, of all places. I mean, I'm just saying. Could have been in New York. So you had the tower in New York and Beth Sarim in California. And they sold it secretly. And I always say, why have only two Cadillacs there? What, Abraham couldn't drive? I'm just saying. Isaac was too young? Somebody robbed Jacob's license? I mean, come on. Maybe it was his Esau, came back from the dead and robbed Jacob's license. Just saying. All right, tongue-in-cheek, guys, but that's just a deal. You can't trust the witnesses. You can't trust somebody who sold magic wheat and corn. You can't. I mean, you can't do that. You can't say that. You can't say that nobody was going to go to the moon and 24 people did, or nobody was going to go to space and Captain Kirk did, and about 600 other people. I mean, come on, man. Who are you trying to fool? You can't say that you went on a worldwide tour and you didn't even go. It's like Gilligan's Island, all over the place. Come on, guys. You can't perjure yourself in court and expect me to trust you. No, you know, I mean, come on. You can't lie about Jesus' return, incidentally saying it's invisible, and parousia and aharatos don't even appear back to back and belly to belly like John Sterling of the New York Yankees likes to say. You can't trust the witnesses if they say, okay, and they tell you about the 144,000 and they're all dead. You can't trust them, guys. And incidentally, you know, when they said that you should worship Jesus, then they deleted it from the ledger in the 1960s and the 1990s. Come on, man. Who are we trying to fool? I mean, Captain Kirk went to space, guys. I mean, come on. You can't trust the witnesses for your eternal destiny. You don't even have any eternal security. You don't even know that you're going to heaven. These things are written that I wrote to you that you may know. You may know that you have eternal life. You understand what I'm saying? First John chapter 5. Okay, and that's just the deal. This is Angelo Quiñones giving glory to God, the living God, in whom we have to do. Take care. Please subscribe to my channel. Please give me a thumbs up. Okay, that's the Greek P. And then please leave a comment on the board. Honey, my love? Huh? Oh, no happy money? Oh, shucks. No peanuts left? My goodness gracious. I have to eat something else. Okay, guys, take care. Okay. No happy money, my wife says. I mean, I'm not happy about that, guys. Okay, take care, guys. Bye-bye.